an eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, Jan Santos. And today we have a very special guest. This person is very dear to me. He's like a mentor, he's a best friend, he's a business partner, and I'm a fan. He is just amazing. Guys, the courage champion. What that is, we will discover later. Two-time LinkedIn top voice. Imagine that. We are in the presence of royalty, superstar, a keynote speaker. He is a business owner, a successful content creator, guys. He also is a coach. He's guiding a lot of people. He is amazing. Content creator, a leader, an advocate. Why you will discover also later. And I love his message. Very humble, very amazing. Let's all welcome my friend, Martin Stark. Welcome to the show, my friend.
What a welcome. There's nothing more to say. It's like your school assembly, final day of the school year when they're handing out all the trophies.
Right.
And you realize, oh my goodness, did we actually do this year? And then you realize you do this day in, day out.
you can actually cut the first part and then just listen to it every day. But Martin, we're always having this conversation, and for everyone that is listening and watching, this podcast is we were ready to do it last year, but things got pushed. We were focused on our live sessions. So it is a blessing, my friend, to have you here on the show at last, 2024.
I mean, I've been so busy the last few months. I've got like 3 television interviews this year already. All the media with the World Boxing Championships, which I'll be talking about later. I've just been so busy. I don't always have the time to actually come on podcasts anymore. So just be able to come and speak, get the time to schedule in the calendar. Let's make this happen. And that's when you're intentional, things can happen. It might not be on the particular day you want something to happen. However, if you're genuine about your goal, if you're genuine about those relationships, that's where the magic happens.
You are clearly connecting and making a difference. A post that you make whenever we speak online in sessions, the coaching program, your courses, you are really, touching, connecting, and making an impact online and changing people's lives. What happened? The floor is yours, my friend. Give us the story of Martin Stark.
I just did it. And I know that sounds very simple. I didn't have a LinkedIn account until just over 5 years ago. And I remember having a conversation with somebody saying they're on LinkedIn. And the stat that resonated was only 1% of people were actively posting content. So I saw this as 99% of the opportunities were left to the 1%. So I decided to be part of the 1%. Now, the work I do in sport and for the LGBTQ plus community, I had seen what had been achieved by others in the past. The rights that we enjoy now, being a scared teenager, of coming out, what was the world going to be like? But people like Boy George, Freddie Mercury, who were openly gay and were having such the backlash that they were getting in the 1980s. But at least, oh my goodness, there are other people in the world, that they are achieving. My favorite sporting hero, Muhammad Ali, favorite quote, it's the mountain ahead to climb that doesn't wear you out. It's the pebble in your shoe. So the pebble in your shoe, what is it, that fear that you remove? And I love Muhammad Ali for everything that he achieved in the ring, but also outside of the ring, the barriers that he broke.
Right.
Decades ahead of where society should have been at that point in time. Decades ahead. But he paved the way for so many others. So many sources of inspiration and trailblazers. I just ventured into this space and then decided to make an impact.
Love that. Love that. You mentioned Muhammad Ali. I have his book somewhere there, along with the other clutter. Yeah, yeah, but I love that. I love that you mentioned Muhammad Ali in the ring and outside the ring. That's where the real battle starts to
Yeah.
happen, right? For everyone that is listening and watching, our family on TikTok, Martin here is a fighter. When I say a fighter, he's an athlete, he's a boxer, and he's also organizing. Well, I'm not gonna spill the beans for this one. He will explain this further later, but he is an athlete, and he's also an advocate, and he's also the founder of this massive organization that is already moving. It's starting on its phase one, and it's very big. What that is, we will find out later. But I just want to go back, Martin, in your journey, in your adventure, before we focus on the topic. You mentioned about it's not easy, and especially when you're fighting for something, you're advocate, you're focusing on that advocacy, and you're really pushing it forward. How do you handle, I'm not going to ask specifically what that is, but I'm sure you posted this a while ago, about people, the naysayers, let's say it that way, the naysayers. How do you handle things like that, negativity about what you are trying to push, and negativity about the community that you're carrying? The floor is yours, my friend.
Couple of strategies, boxing techniques, walking away and blocking. Blocking something on social media, being wanted, don't listen, and walking away. Now, I had to walk away from social media in 2022 for about 5 months because I had very bad depression. To the extent I didn't want to be alive, or trigger warning for anybody who's going to be listening to this. And all of the hostility I was getting was making an impact. I had to go to the police twice for what I was doing. One was a threatening an email, and one was somebody who just wouldn't stop messaging me. So for my own mental health, I had to take action. Now, in the rest of this, and I'm going to name Sean Strickland here, a couple of weeks ago, he made deeply homophobic remarks at a press conference while wearing a T-shirt which says, "A woman in every kitchen." Why would I listen to that and take that seriously? Now, I take that seriously into the extent he is making my job so much harder to eradicate homophobia and hatred from combat sports. So I do take that seriously.
Yeah.
Really, why would I listen to somebody who has got a message of hate at the same time saying, think about this, a T-shirt, a woman in every kitchen. Why would I listen to that? Because it's against everything that I stand for in terms of equality, equity, courage, giving everybody a fair chance. Women's sport has come such a long way in the last few years, particularly in combat sports. And they're my heroes. What women have achieved in boxing since they've allowed to compete in the Olympics in 2012 has been remarkable. Why would I not be saying, thank you so much, and let's work and collaborate together and support each other? Why would I listen to the T-shirt, "A woman in every kitchen"?
Right.
Clearly that person probably doesn't want women involved in combat sports. I don't know unless we had a conversation. The crucial point for something along this is, how is your message going to make an impact to people around you? I'm on LinkedIn all the time, and my LinkedIn success formula is your message and your content equals your relationships, your opportunities, and networks. Now, when you think about your message, when you have a strong and simple message, it is easy for other people to understand. Now, how can somebody understand a complicated message? One of my favorite sitcoms of the 1980s was Yes, Prime Minister. Sir Humphrey Appleby, talking gobbledygook, really confusing people. It made everybody laugh. That was the actual message, to make people laugh. But that wasn't making the impact. Now,
Wow.
can you consider how you, as a person, can get your message out there. People are going to be listening to this through your content. You might want to talk about going to the gym. You might be a personal trainer and you want to talk about diet. Then you want to talk about resistance training. You want to talk about high intensity interval training. Now you can show people the different types of exercises. However, with storytelling, how does this benefit your client? How can somebody who's never been to the gym before start out? How can they, through maybe an online program that you operate, learn more about healthy eating? How can they change their habits, start adopting healthy habits? Then you start introducing some of the people you're supporting, their stories, how somebody's gone from A to B through your program, the benefits to them. That's where you're starting to build a community.
Love that.
Your
Love that.
message and your content to build
Wow.
those relationships, opportunities, and those networks.
I love that. You were mentioning about, message, conveying your message, connecting with people, handling the naysayers and everything. And clearly you are in a position that makes a lot of connections and impact because you have a brand, right? And this is where the magic starts. And you already talk about the tip of it. All right. So for everyone that's listening and watching, TikTok family, Instagram family, let's talk about how to explode your brand online. How to make an impact if you are a brand. And there's no one better to explain this than Martin Stark here. Again, two-time LinkedIn top voice. He is massive. An advocate, an athlete, a businessman, a content creator. So my friend, how to bring your brand to the next level, how to make it big, how to make an impact. The floor is yours. Feel free to share.
Literally just had a technical glitch. Now, I'm a keynote speaker. Now, with the technical glitch, the one thing I can't do is to stop speaking to the audience. You just keep going. And I had some key messages. And that's the key thing, is build an audience around your message that creates that sense of purpose. We all want to belong, be part of something bigger, know how we can make an impact. That's why we choose to work where we do. That's why we choose to buy the things that we buy from the shops that we want to buy from. So start with a strong message. Communicate, communicate, communicate. The power of reciprocity. How are you communicating and supporting other people with their message? Because in return, those people and their supporters and their audience will support you. Consider how you can get your message amplified by creating a global movement that I did with the World Game Boxing Championships.
Yeah.
Or just with the few people that you're working with right now, because I tell you, they will be talking about you, whether you like it or not, but is what people are saying about you will draw others to you. So that's how you really do it. Then you find the mediums for you. So mine has been LinkedIn, two-time top voice, because I'm on the platform every single day with a very simple message, being an advocate of courage for the LGBTQ plus community. And I've spoken at 2 LinkedIn events. The next part is a little bit harder. But when you have that simple message, when you have that community, when you have that presence, that's where you need to get your message offline or on other digital platforms. Now, within 3 months of me being on LinkedIn, I was already being interviewed on podcasts. 2 years, I was being interviewed by CNN. But I had all of this behind me to get interviewed by CNN. So getting out in the external media, getting others to write about your message, getting others to speak about your message, So sometimes people will talk about me on a podcast.
Right.
They'll send me, hey, we talked about you today. And you could say something good, you could say something bad. It doesn't bother me, to be honest, but we want to be spoken well about. And really, the final point is you need to be speaking at events. So I'm a keynote speaker. I'm speaking at an event next month. I hold regular audio events with my business partner, Jan. So you need to be holding some kind of event that people can belong to. And holding those in-person events is the best way of showing your authenticity in the age of AI, because no AI can't yet go and speak for you at an event in front of 2,000 people or in front of 20 people or go for a coffee on your behalf. I wish AI could do the ironing and the cleaning and the laundry. The things that we want it to do, it can't do yet. But yeah, being authentic is showing up as you.
Love that. Love that. That's a bit scary. Yeah, I'm picturing like Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Terminator, right? When AI does the laundry for you, that's the end of human race. No, partner, thank you, Martin, for sharing. How to bring your brand to the next level, how to make it explode and make an impact. We have a question here, message from Instagram from Parry. Basic tips for your brand on LinkedIn. So this is specifically tips that you can use for your brand to make an impact on LinkedIn. If I rephrase that correct, the floor is yours, my friend.
So really, LinkedIn is a professional platform. Now, it's not the fuddy-duddy conservative platform that it once was. So I would try and mirror how you show up in the work environment, in the business environment. You want to be showing your expertise, educational posts, but also your personality. So in work meetings, we talk about the weekend, what we're going to be doing, going for coffee, things that we're working on, engaging with. So it's also about inspiring and also entertaining people. Now, the best thing to start with is sharing what you know, your particular profession. Share some thoughts, some ideas, maybe share what your company is doing, a personal perspective, and start building something around a simple message that you want to be talking about. If you're an IT engineer and you're talking about coaching other IT engineers to be successful in your coach, that's a great way to start. However, if you're an IT engineer and you're talking about digital marketing, you're then talking about finance, you're then talking about how to build a personal brand, then you're talking about sport, you're all over the place, that won't resonate. So that comes back to my first point, your simple message. Start with what you know, show your expertise, support others, and that's how you successfully develop your personal brand, your professional brand, and build a community.
Wow. Love that. Love that. I have a follow-up question. It's a basic question that I always hear on YouTube, on other podcasts. They're always saying, and famous influencers, content creators, big names, they're saying that LinkedIn is the last social media, the last authentic social media platform. What's your take on this, my friend?
So we see all of the bots, the AI generated things on other platforms, and we've seen. I think social media has replaced television. Of fact, people who you'd have watched, you'd have said, "I'm going to need to record this at 7:30 on a Thursday, or watch it, catch it at the weekend." Now you have immediate access to a range of people on YouTube, on TikTok. They'll do short form content, they'll do long form video content. LinkedIn is still very much that professional brand, that professional B2B platform. So, in that true sense, being social is crucial to develop your brand, to develop your business. Because if you were selling sneakers on LinkedIn with a shop, you may sell a few,
Right.
but it wouldn't be like having your store on TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if you were selling sneakers and you wanted to connect with some athletes,
Yeah.
some coaches who've been going for, or you're a personal trainer, you're selling in a running club,
Mm.
that's where you're talking about your sneakers and how it benefits others and how you built a business community. That's where it would land.
Right. Right. Well, I love that. I love that. Um, when Instagram, let's say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I felt that community, that authenticity, that natural engagement on Instagram. I feel that now, and I'm experiencing that now on LinkedIn. So for everyone that is on TikTok, let's go to LinkedIn. I'm just kidding. Like what Martin said, there's different platforms, different character. LinkedIn is more of like B2B. Again, a perfect example. If you're selling sneakers and you are using LinkedIn, you probably will get low customer output. But if you're looking for investments, partners, or sponsorships with athletes, then LinkedIn is the best place to be at. On the other hand, if you want to sell like pieces or bulk orders, TikTok, I think, is the best option for that, like what he said, because of TikTok Shop. Instagram is connected to Shopify and they have like a similar way, but I think TikTok, outperforms as of now when it comes to selling. So B2B, it's LinkedIn. But guys, um, I just wanna, I'm not aiming for a promotion or like a sponsorship from LinkedIn, but Martin, it could be the community that we started. It's very natural. You will see people celebrating your small wins, helping, guiding, and I love it. People are not connecting to pitch. People are not connecting to sell, even to talk about themselves. Yes, we encountered people like that time to time, and you mute them or you drop them. But majority is it's a healthy environment. And last point, why do you think there is that vibe on LinkedIn? That healthy, non-toxic flow and vibe.
I mean, by and large, and LinkedIn does have its issues. There is toxic behavior on there. There is trolling on there. I've experienced this, and I'm not giving LinkedIn a free pass just because I'm a top voice on things they need to improve. But really, this is a business community, a professional community, and in business, if somebody's being rude, you won't buy from them. If you turn up for a job interview and you're not prepared, and you start displaying behaviors which don't align with the values of the organization, you're not going to get the job. So in the business world, there are certain behaviors that aren't accepted. Certainly trolling somebody. Can you imagine an email being sent from the CEO and there are all of these emails back with these toxic comments?
Right.
It wouldn't happen. People would get fired for that, and especially some of the things that we see online today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
LinkedIn, I'll give you a few examples. I was sent a connection request by somebody who wanted to meet with me.
Mm.
Didn't get my name right. Didn't actually mention my name at all, actually.
Wow.
A few different things. And it was a 15-minute meeting, and here is the link.
Oh.
A 21-year-old, 22-year-old in university. So I sent them a video message back saying, look, hey, got your message. Relationships are really important. I'm inviting you now to actually resend your message.
Wow.
What do you know about me? We've talked about our businesses together, but is it my coaching business? Is it my boxing championships? And there's no intent whatsoever. And it was like, sign up if you want to, was kind of the message. And I've got that message back. Whereas other people who've been coming along to my audio rooms, I've been to their audio rooms. Hey, really enjoyed listening to you today. Would love to connect and maybe we can get a meeting together. You see the difference?
Right.
There's intent. There's that really wanting to connect. They've already established rapport. Of course, they're going to want to accept and grow and meet that person versus the other person. Here's my link. Accept my meeting request. And that if I mention your name,
Right, right.
Who would you want to do business with?
Yeah. There's a lot of like that, partner, right? There's a lot of like that. Um, well, remember when we like first do the tag team in the audio session?
Yeah.
There was a guy there who were well, the part of that session is you introducing who you are, right? But he turned out to do it like a pitch, and you notice it right away. It's like that also. I've also experienced a lot of messages of people selling something. They don't even mention your name, so that's for me that's sketchy already. And then here comes like I thought those messages were scam. This is a funny story before we move forward. Remember the sponsor of the podcast, Magic Mind? Kudos. um, it start like this is real talk. They started sending me messages, and I thought it was a scam. I was like, really? I always say this, and for everyone that is watching and listening, TikTok family, I always say this to Martin. I said, I'm a spec. A spec is very small compared to other online personalities in our community on LinkedIn. Like Martin here is like kaboom. All right. So for me to, I have sponsors on the show, but for this big email, I was like, really? Are you for real? And I started answering like, just for the sake of answering back. Let's see. And it turned out to be the real thing. I mean, wow. And I asked them, how did you find out about the podcast? Yes, we're ranking, but come on, if you're really authentic brand, how did you discover us? And they answered, we've listened to um, some of the episodes, but this is, you don't know about this, Martin. The first, there was they have an agent, right? They're scouting. They were in our audio session. They were in our audio session, and I was speaking. I forgot to ask which topic is that. And then they checked my profile and they saw, the banner and everything, the description, which by the way was constructed and arranged by Martin. So there was a link there. They had an overview of what, who and what I am as a brand, as a podcaster. They went through the podcast, they listened to it, they loved it. And then, the rest is history. They're a sign up sponsor now. So that's how LinkedIn operates. So I'm not promoting LinkedIn, but come on, we're open for sponsors. I'm just saying, I'm just kidding. And with that, Martin, I just want to say thank you also. Um, for everyone that is listening and watching, it's a business. Martin coaches, he has a course. He helps online personalities, brands, businesses to, amplify your visibility on LinkedIn and beyond. And he just constantly helps me. He said, okay, John, let's rearrange this, let's modify this because this is the reason you need to adjust this, and lo and behold, everything works. So thank you for that, my friend. I love you so much. The blessings and everything. And in return, we're a content magician. we do everything. But thank you so much.
And I'm learning more about the tag. I mean, I bought a Rode mic kit a few months ago, and Jan keeps telling me off saying it's in mono, and it's just, I said no, it's fine. I'll get a lapel. So I thought I can't use the Rode mic kit today, and so I've used these headsets which I bought a few months ago, and it's like, okay, I need to learn a bit more from Jan, but it's it's okay. It doesn't matter. Last year I spoke at TikTok. Really so impressed by their culture, that the staff, you can see, really enjoy working where they do.
Mm,
Huge advocates and supporters of the LGBTQ plus community.
yeah.
I see that. That's why I really enjoyed speaking there. I spoke at a school last year, Waverley College, for about 1,400 students. Wow, just the conversations that we're having. I'm speaking at a large research institution next month. So I've spoken to banks, spoken to a big motor insurance company. So that's where I've been able to speak to get my message out there. I spoke for Transport New South Wales, the big state government body, on at their International Women's Event Day in November 2022. So just being able to speak at prestigious companies, organizations, and get the message out there. So that's the impact.
Love that. Love that.
There's a
Wow.
there's a red
Wow.
herring with LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Red herring. That is chasing financial metrics.
Yeah, and that's a sinkhole, a rabbit hole that a lot of content creators really end up. Not only on LinkedIn, right? TikTok, YouTube, especially on YouTube. That for me, I mean, that's one of the solid platform with monetization. And for everyone that is listening, TikTok, we are also in a stage that we're launching a new arm for Martin Start. And it's not a podcast, but it's like a vlog, and that will be on YouTube very, very soon. So I mentioned that, and there's a lot of content creators that is falling on checking only on the metrics, right? They need to do this because this does not perform. I mean, it's not bad. We're using that. We're using that to gauge, but it should not be the main core of why you do things, right?
It can't be, because having followers, getting engagement is crucial. This is the difference between developing followers or a following. Why do people want to get to know, like, and trust you? If all of your posts have fake engagement, all of these reposts, a lot of those reposts might be from fake accounts, right? Who is actually seeing the message? Apart from the echo chamber, who is actually seeing the message? Versus your message, authentic engagement, building your community over time in a meaningful way. That is how you get quality engagement and the opportunities that come your way, but also how you get clients.
Oof. That's a that's a mic drop there, Martin.
Last week, I got a keynote. No, sorry, I did a post last week about being booked for a keynote speaker. That all it took was for me to get a keynote speaking gig next month. One post, one client.
That's a mic drop there. The first line that you said about followers and following, boom, that's it. For everyone that is in TikTok right now, guys, do not focus on vanity metrics. Focus on making connections, authentic connections, because it will change your life. All right, guys, this is an amazing episode. I've learned a lot. I'm always learning when I end up having a conversation with Martin. Whenever we are in a call for a meeting, it end up like a podcast. I mean, he's gonna be sharing a lot of things. I'm gonna be sharing a lot of things, and it is always a blessing. It's a blessing for me to have this amazing person, caring, guiding, coaching, loving, and just supporting you all the way. So thank you, Martin, for being with us here on the show.
It's an absolute pleasure. And as a speaker, every time you get the opportunity to speak is a huge honor. And never take that for granted. When you take that for granted, you've kind of really lost the purpose of why you're doing it in the first place. And I don't know any keynote speaker who does not think the same.
Wow, thank you. But we're not done yet, my friend. No, no, no. All right. We are in the stage that we will play a game. It's a tradition here in the show. All right. We call it the creative fast talk. I think there will be a latency because I'm hearing a feedback. You're not wearing your headphones, so it's not gonna be a creative fast talk. It's gonna be a creative fast latency point five. But it's the beauty of doing it live, right? Uncut.
Okay.
All right. So the way the game works is I'm gonna be saying statements or question, and you are not allowed to spend much time thinking what the right answer, the best answer would be. The first word that comes into your mind, boom, shoot. All right.
Here's the challenge. Let's go.
Don't worry, it's good, clean fun. You know me.
I know. Here we go.
All right. First, let's go very easy. All right. Sun or snow?
Sun,
Structured or chaotic?
structure,
Love or money?
love.
Yes. Why is it? What I we're on 300 episodes. Nobody answers money. I was like waiting for someone to answer money. All right. Next, this is a question, my friend. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
I would be a lone wolf because I'm comfortable having my clear message of courage. I enjoy being part of the pack too, but I'm comfortable being me.
Kaboo! Another mic drop there. Another clip for a reel. Next, another question. Which do you prefer? Popcorn and movies or dinner and dancing?
Dinner and dancing, absolutely.
Love it. So Martin here is a dancer. All right.
Not a great one, but I love going.
Yes, out the confidence. Hey, boxing is dancing. Muhammad Ali. Remember?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fasting like a pig.
There you go. I was about to say that. You know, the fan of Muhammad Ali connected. All right. Martin, are you a passenger or you a driver?
Driver,
Which do you love? Mountains or the beaches?
beaches.
Right.
It's away from an awesome beach. I can't say
Mm,
mountains.
mm. Then you should you should pack and plan your trip to the Philippines if you love the beaches, right? Well, we're already talking about that, so that's gonna happen very soon. And me flying to Australia.
Yeah, you'll come.
Next, another question here. Martin, what are you afraid of and why?
It used to be snakes until quite recently I conquered my fear of
Wait,
snakes.
how did you conquer your fear of snakes? I'm interested to know.
I went to Sydney Wildlife World in the city
Ah,
and I held a python. The python was on the floor. And then I went back a year later and held another python in my hands. So I just did it. I guess
Wow.
fear now is just not trying.
oh, wow. So for everyone on TikTok, he before he was scared of snakes, but he conquered it. How? He hold a live python in his hands 2 times. So there you have it. Go find some snakes, grab it. No, no. Right, love it. Next, movies or books?
Movies.
All
I
right,
enjoy reading, but I prefer watching movies.
love that. You answered movies. There's a follow-up question to that because you answered movies. Name your top 3 movies of all time.
Back to the Future. I remember watching that 10 years old.
Game over.
Film came out. Second favorite movie is the first Rocky movie because I think that represents authentic boxing, beautiful storytelling.
Yeah.
And third one is Forrest Gump.
Man.
Just the storytelling, just sitting on the bench, sharing a box of chocolates, and like the impact of those stories. So those are my
Love it. Love it. For everyone in TikTok, top 3 movies of Martin. Back to the Future, which I love. Rocky, the first one, which I adore. And Forrest Gump, a legend. Run, Forrest, run. All right, Martin, this last question can lead something a bit serious depending on how you take it. All right. If you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why? Or you decided not to use your power to bring back someone. It's up to you. The floor is yours.
I'm not going to bring someone back
Why?
because the impact and their legacy is what inspires us now. So the world is different from when they were here.
Mm,
So the lessons that they would be sharing would not be as relevant right now as what we learned from history.
love
I'd
that.
love to have a conversation. If I could go back in time and have the conversation, that would be the thing I'd love to do.
Yeah. Imagine having a conversation with Julius Caesar, right? Love that. Love that. Thank you. Thank you, Martin, for first giving us the time. Second, dropping knowledge bombs after knowledge bombs and having a great time with us in the game section of this show. But again, it's not all that. This is your show. You are the spotlight. I know you have a lot of projects, platforms, releases, your course or your events. This is the time for you to promote it. The floor is yours. Share, my friend.
So first, the biggest boxing event this year is the World Gay Boxing Championships in Chicago. And it is literally going to be an exhibition boxing event partnering with Diego Savelas Garzon, who is on the Out 100 list for 2023, inspirational boxing coach. He won over 100 amateur fights. So partnering with him and Strong Hands Gym in Chicago. Second thing, if you want to make an impact and achieve business success on LinkedIn, go to my website, martinstark.co, then check out the course. I teach you everything that I know, from creating a stand-up profile, crafting a compelling message, making quality content, how to become a trusted authority, grow your network, and sale, generating leads and really closing those sales. I teach you everything you need to know on LinkedIn. And final thing, I've been working on something for months. A program called Elevating Executives. So Ben Baker and Vince Warnock are the founders of this business. It's a 6-month program where people get a chapter in a best-selling book, professional podcast, extensive public relations and social media campaigns. It's all about promoting and elevating executives. Celia Daniels and I are partnering with them to launch this for the LGBTQ plus community. So Celia is a fellow LinkedIn top LGBTQA plus voice. We've launched this program. We've co-designed this because Ben and Vince want to support the community in a meaningful way. So LGBTQ plus owned businesses are involved in the delivery of the program. So the podcast host is Melanie Richards, who we both know really well. She's a proud Black lesbian woman. She's an awesome podcast host. She's going to be the podcast host. We're also getting others involved in the design of the book cover. Also, $10,000 per cohort is being donated to Trans Can Work.
Wow.
Not-for-profit charity supporting trans people. Also, the book sales, the proceeds of the book sales will go to a charity of the cohort's choice. So you have a program co-designed with leaders of the community, supporting charities of the community, and supporting LGBTQ plus owned businesses in the delivery of the program. And Ben and Vince are remarkable allies, and the teams they have working for them are remarkable allies. So really super excited to be launching on this. We've been working on something for months. Sometimes the best thing is to keep this quiet until you're ready to launch, and you launch in the bag. So that's a really exciting project for this year.
Yay. Wow. Power pack. There you have it, guys. The amazing Martin Stark. If you want to be successful, please do connect with Martin. I'm sure he can help you in your journey towards success. For everyone on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, thank you for joining us. Martin, super, super thank you. It's a blessing again. I will keep saying this because you are a blessing. Thank you for being with us here in the show. Thank you so much, my friend.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, brother.
All right. So, guys, always remember, have a positive outlook in life. Smile. God bless you.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.